Hello, I'm Roger Montgomery from Montgomery Investment Management. Welcome to this video insight, the final part of our two-part series on GPT, general purpose technology, booms, and how they end. And today we are talking about how they end. Now, before we get started, let's briefly summarize the last video. Generally, there are 5 components to a GPT boom that becomes a bubble. There's the exponential share price growth, tick. There's the bubble participants investing in and dealing with each other using their overpriced shares, tick. Then they buy each other's products to prop up each other's revenue and demonstrate insider faith in the technology's utility, tick. Vendor financing is used to support more revenue growth, and then, thanks to the hype and the consequent drop in the cost of capital, we see a massive surge in capex and the build out of the technology to scale the opportunity, which of course has an unlimited total addressable market. General purpose technologies of the past, such as the automobile, electricity, commercial flight, steam locomotion and TV, have all changed the course of human history. And yet more than 1,000 car manufacturers have disappeared from the US, and none exist today that are profitable and have not been bailed out by government or private equity. Commercial flight changed the course of history for humans as well, and yet not a lot of money has been made in aggregate by airlines over the decades. You see, history's replete with GPTs that were good for consumers, that did indeed change the course of history, but not so great for early investors. As I mentioned, the hype surrounding a new technology generally brings down the cost of investment for participants, and they naturally take advantage of that cheap capital to build out and scale their technology in a fast-paced land grab. The big problem is the consequence of this massive land grab. It's called overcapacity. When overcapacity occurs, investment returns disappoint. Disappointing returns transpire because even though this technology is going to change history, it usually isn't going to right now. The perception or assumption today is that the AI theme is structural and uninterruptible, if that's a word. Few question whether the tech will change the course of human history. I believe it will change the course of human history, but I also believe that the suppliers of this tech must ultimately deal with customers whose demand isn't structural. Theirs is cyclical. When a structural theme meets a cyclical commerciality, it's the cyclical commerciality that wins. What's next is a period of what's known as creative destruction. Those of you who remember the tech wreck of 2000 will recall that term, creative destruction. As price gains unwind, everyone other than the earliest investors lose between 60 and 95%. Many are wiped out. Investors cry out, but nothing's changed. Why are shares collapsing if the theme remains true? What's happened is a reality check. The time frames are wrong. As the share prices plunge and volatility increases, the cost of capital rises, and all that debt that was amassed at the end of the boom sent some companies to the wall. And that's what's changed. Could that be why, as this chart shows, we've seen so many insider sales of Nvidia shares, but no insider buying? Now at this point, governments and central banks, fearing a recession because trillions are being written off, may step in using a variety of tools at their disposal, including buying the bonds or the equity of the bubble participants. And maybe that's what OpenAI's Sam Altman and Sarah Fry were talking about recently when they threw out the idea of government backstops. If that happens, investors might be rescued. Nevertheless, investors are confused because they've correctly predicted the life-altering nature of the technology, but the companies they invested in are collapsing. Did you know there were once more than 1,000 TV manufacturers in the United States or thereabouts? Today, how many are there? None. That's creative destruction. If left to run its course, eventually, after the massive losses, buyers of distressed assets secure the technology from the distraught investors of the first part of the hype cycle and ensure the technology is widely and affordably distributed, and the course of human history does indeed begin to change as the tech is widely adopted. The tech will change lives, and it will change the course of human history. But a period of creative destruction is often required to make that technology affordable. The process of invention, hype, low cost of capital, overcapacity, creative destruction, and distressed buying is the process that ensures the technology does change the course of human history, because it's the process that puts that technology into every human's hands. We've written a huge number of blog posts and news articles on the subject of the AI boom. If you'd like to dig deeper, including finding out about how to rebalance and diversify, please visit my blog at rogermontgomery.com, follow us on Facebook and X, or send an email requesting links to the best articles to info@montinvest.com. That's info@montinvest.com. And I'll talk to you again soon.